We have a service four-wheel drive message on dash, and we have U0102 lost communication with transfer case control module code in the engine control module. This code also displayed in other modules, and when we go down in our scan, we see that the transfer case control module says no response. Stay tuned, let's check this out. Good day, viewers. Welcome back to Dallas Auto Diag. This truck was dropped 2 days ago. A customer concern was airbag light on, ABS light on, traction control light on, and that service four-wheel drive message on dash. And there was another message, actually, service restraint control module, and I believe another message related to the ABS system. There was a fuse keeps blowing, fuse number 18 on the passenger side, a fuse box, the inside, right there in the right side kick panel. That fuse, as I'm showing you guys here in this diagram, it feeds two things: the restraint control module and the passenger occupant restraint module. A little module located under the passenger seat. Now, I told the owner, since we have this issue, we're going to focus on the fuse, not the lights, because I expect those lights, or some of them, goes away once we fix our NOCOM with the restraint control module, the airbag module. Now, the reason why we have that fuse blown, because the passenger restraint control module, occupant restraint control module on the passenger seat, it's bad. It keeps shorted inside, let's say. So once I disconnected that, put a new fuse, now the fuse is not blowing, and now I have communication with the airbag, with the main airbag control module. I was able to delete the codes, all the lights gone except that for service four-wheel drive, it's still there, and the transfer case control module is still NOCOM. That's why we're doing this second round in it. So the transfer case control module is right here. It is located all the way over there, but I removed it from the bracket for a better reach. Part number 84366746. Don't take my word. Always contact the dealer. Order by VIN number. But this is a 2021 Chevy Colorado, and of course it's an all-wheel drive. We're going to go to the computer, take a look at the wiring diagram, and see what we need to check here. I know this is probably a ground, this is power. So the main things we're checking here are powers and grounds, wake up signal, can high and can low. I am using a power extension that comes from the battery, so I can have a positive and negative. And we're going with a test light first to check the two powers and one ground. The first one to check is we're hooked up on ground, so we're checking this red and yellow. And red and yellow should be yellow violet A, yellow gray B, and this should be red and gray. I said red and yellow. It's red and gray. And we have power, but I don't like how dim this is. Let me see. I have two settings here. I'm switching to the higher ampage bulb or filament. But technically we're supposed to check it. Yeah, that's better. So this is a good power. Now I'm switching to power here. And we're checking that black one. We should have a good ground. And we have a good ground here. Let me find the other power, which is the wake up signal for it. It should be violet and green. The violet and green is the 4th pin right here in the middle connector. The first 2 pins, if you count from the right to left, the first 2 pins empty, violet and white, and then violet and green. Let's probe, and we have a good power. Okay, of course we switch our other end to ground here. We switch to black. Now we're using a multimeter to check this pin number 6, gray and red. We have our negative of the multimeter to negative to ground, and the positive lead, and of course we have it on volt DC, and the positive lead is on that gray and red, and it's X1 pin connector, X1 pin number 6, and we should have 5 volt. We don't have a 5 volt, we have 38 millivolt. So that's a sign that the module is not working properly, but we have to check other things too. Now I'm on this pin number 9, white and red, and it's a 5 volt, and again we have 87 millivolt. The pin is the first on the right side, on the second row from the bottom. It's a white and red, pin number 9, and the one right next to it should be 8 volt, white and gray, white and gray, or white and green, sorry, white and green, I was wrong, white and green, right there. It reads 45 millivolt. It's supposed to read 8 volts. Now we still have the CAN communication lines to check them. I am going to bring another tool, which is the oscilloscope, to show you guys whether you want to check it with the multimeter, with the voltmeter, or with the oscilloscope. Of course the oscilloscope is the tool to use in this case, but just in case you don't have a scope to use, so you can at least have an idea what's going on those 4 pins that we're checking. So right now we have the ground lead of the oscilloscope lead on ground, the measuring lead on this pin right here, the blue and white, which is the last two of the first row of that middle, the blue and white, and there is the other 2 blue and white behind them. That's the other one, 15 and 16. So now if you're using multimeter, this is what you should see, 2.9 volt, and if you're using oscilloscope, this is what you should see, between 2.5 and 3.5. If you stop it and zoom out, you'll see it's roughly between 2.5 3 volt. Now the signal is not perfect, it's not what I like to see. There is a lot of noise in it. I'm not sure, is it because the car is running, or because it's shared ground, or because it's shared reading here with the voltmeter. There is other factors, and this is not the greatest scope, and not the great. The leads are, this is a picoscope leads, but still this is a Chinese unit. Now let's switch to the other one, which is the white. The white, you're gonna see a less reading, 2.0, 2.1, and this is what you're gonna see, between 2.5 and 1.5. Now again, this is not as I wanted to see it. Let's switch to the other ones. Now I'm on the other white, and interesting, the other white right here. Okay, so I had a bad contact. Other white also, can low. Also we're reading 2.1. Let me switch to the blue. This is the blue right there, and we're reading 2.8, and we're seeing the signal. Now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna shut off the core, key it on, and I'm going to disconnect this harness and measure with it being disconnected. I need 2 hands. Now with the connector disconnected and I'm front probing, look at the signal. It's way better. This is how I like to see it. This is another indicator that this module is bad. And when we check, this is the same pin, the other pin, here we go. So, and you're gonna still read 2.7, 2.8, 2.9 or 2.1. The idea is to show you what you expect on those pins. So it is definitely bad. This module is bad. We need another module, and this is going to be programmed. Whenever you see this sign on a GM module, that means programming and any other procedures or steps has to be done according to service information, but programming definitely.
3 days later.
Customer got us a brand new module from the dealer, part number 87835510. I'm going to plug it over there, replace it with the old one, do a scan, pre-programming scan if you want to call it, save a copy, and program it using SBS2. I apologize for the glare. I try my best to avoid it. So after purchasing a programming sub and logging in, launching TLC through web, we're gonna go and IDing the vehicle. Of course, I'm using MDI 1, replace and program. We're gonna look for transfer case control module and then programming, and then we're gonna hit next. Now SPS was acting up this morning. I'm not sure if it's gonna go through or not. Now hit next. Those are the calibration files. I like to take a screenshot of this and hit next. And then the HVAC VM, those modules communication become non-functional after programming this module. If that happened, do not replace those modules. Can be restored by cycling battery power to those. Okay, so you just let the car go to sleep. This is the note. You can pause and read it. Hit next. Please confirm ECU has been replaced. Yes. By the way, the part number is wrong. It's different. Not wrong, I mean different. Okay, this is a good sign. Programming done, and I like to save those files that we just downloaded. I'm gonna copy them and put them in a folder. Hold 21 Colorado transfer case control module 21 Colorado transfer case. Put them here and close this. And now we're gonna have to cycle the key, of course. preferably let the car go to sleep, just like the instructions says. Now plug in our scanner. Put the key on. Now before, when I scanned it, I had, let me show you the scan. I deleted the codes. I would still have lost communication with transfer case control module and the body control module, yet the transfer case control module was pass no fault. So, but we still have a code in the body control module. That's why we had a service four-wheel drive. Now let's delete codes, see if that code stays. Okay, that code went away, and we shouldn't have service four-wheel drive anymore. We had that. Oh, we do have it. Let's scan the vehicle again. Transfer case control module, we have one code, so we have it because we have something else. Now we have service range actuator position not learned. That's a good sign. It means I knew there is some learning has to be done. Let's see if we go to special functions and range actuator learn. Not sure if the car is going to need to be running or not. See if conditions, block the wheels, set the parking brake, set transmission to neutral. Okay, I'm on a slope. I need to bring this inside the shot. Alright, the car is inside. The engine is running, the side brake is on, the transmission on neutral, and the range selector test was suspended. It may have occurred that range actuator undefined position. In this case, the transfer case itself and transfer case switch will be unresponsive. If this occurs, please turn the ignition off for 30 seconds. Okay, so continue. Okay, let's learn range selector invalid, learn in progress. I heard a click, and this was on two-wheel drive. So now learning complete, two-wheel drive. Now if I go this, invalid, and then it switches to four-wheel drive. Now it's operating, high lock, and then two-wheel drive. And you guys heard it engaging the motor. So we're gonna go out, we're gonna key on the vehicle. I go to the code that we had. It should be history by itself, or gone maybe. Yeah, pass no fault, transfer case control module. Now this one should also disappear. Before it would not clear. So let's key off, park, key off, and start the vehicle. See what messages we should have. Only the airbag message. Service restraint, yes. Washer fluid low. Okay, no four-wheel drive message. Scan one more last time. Last communication, passenger in presence. Yeah, we know about that. Headlight control switch circuit. Headlights are disconnected. Passenger presence. Yep, that's it. I'm gonna save a report, save a final report, what I call it a final report, and call the customer, tell him to come pick up. I hope this helped you identifying sort of your problem, and if you're a tech, help you how to program it properly and what to do after programming. Now technically I was supposed to read service information, but I've done these before on the GMs and other vehicles, and I know it's going to be programming. And again, because it has this sign on it, so it definitely need programming. And even when there was no VIN number mismatch, but we had other option, other modules were complaining about a correct message being not sent from the transfer case control module. That's another sign of programming, actually. So when you program and when you put the correct data in it, now the module operates to what this exact car needed to be doing, and then the other modules like the cluster and engine control module will be receiving the correct data from this control module after programming. And after we did, now it triggered. Now when we ID'd this hardware, remember this is a hardware and we put a software in it. So the hardware companies nowadays, especially with the shortage of components, elements, chips, what they do is they tend to make it, and it is a smart marketing procedure. They made the hardware the same, and they get you to program it to put the needed software in it. That's how it's done. Mostly that's why when we put the correct software in it, now it triggered that, hey, there's a range sensor that's not calibrated, and we calibrated that one. So again, thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe, do something, stay around. I appreciate your time. Have a good day.